Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Apex Legends tier list. Now first of all, I am not an Apex Predator. I'm just a casual kid who gets masters every now and then and maybe a 4K every now and then. My opinion might be different from yours, but that doesn't mean we should all yell at each other. Mad Maggie is dog shit and I'll keep my opinion on that. So, let's enjoy, grab your popcorn or whatever, this is gonna be a banger. First of all, in the F tier we have Revenant. There's only one legend that belongs in the F tier for now, which is Revenant, because his ultimate, the totem, it is terrible. You die every time you use it. His Q isn't anything special. I mean, the ball isn't anything special. I mean, it just cancels out some abilities for a couple seconds, but it's not a game changer. You can't even do wall jumps with his stupid passive that lets you climb higher. Why would I want to use that? So, you know, I'm sorry, Revenant, your finisher's cool, but you stay in the F tier for now. Moving on to the D tier, we've got Mirage. And Mirage just isn't great. He's fun, but not great. His decoys only really seem to work against lower skill players, just like this lifeline, I don't know what she was doing. And his ultimate is pretty useful, in my opinion. It only takes 60 seconds before you have got it. And you can get out of sticky situations by using it, which is great. But I wouldn't recommend him for ranked, because he's just not like that viable option for you. So just stay away if you want to play ranked. But use him in pops, he's great. Another legend in the D tier is going to be Mad Maggie, which might be a bit of a surprise for some of you. But she just isn't great. Her ball is a bit underwhelming at some times. Her tactical is pretty decent for forcing movement at other players. But her passive is just not, yeah, it's there, but it's not as noticeable as maybe some other passives. So I think she belongs in the D tier. Up next in C tier, we've got Bloodhound. And in my opinion, there are just better recon legends. His ultimate is not great in my opinion. Yes, you run faster, but for me personally, I rather don't use his ult and run a bit slower because of the lack of visibility whilst using his ult. It's all red and stuff and I don't like it. His scans are decent, I guess, but it takes a long time before you get it back and stuff, and it doesn't really have a long range as well. His passive isn't great either, so for now, C tier. Another legend in the C tier is gonna be Rampart, and Rampart, she's a very niche character. I've had some fun with her, but her minigun, it makes you move very slow, which often leads to getting hit for a lot, so it's more of a third-party tool. Her walls, they are very useful in some scenarios, again, since if a team is focused on you, they will destroy your walls in a split second, and it's very annoying. And her passive is basically just non-existent since who uses LMGs nowadays. So C tier there. Another legend who makes his way into the C tier is Fuse. Give it up for the good man. But he's not good. Well, that was a terrible joke. Okay, never mind. He's just not great for like ranked. It's satisfying to hit his knuckle cluster, but his ult is just so clunky and it's not even great. So yeah, Fuse, I'm sorry man, but I have to put you in C tier. Great voice lines though. Octane is also in the C tier, and this is a bit of a harsh one for me because I love his kit. I love sitting around, jumping around, the health regen, I love everything. But my teammates often just rather commit suicide by walking in the building that they know people are in, like camping, because they don't like playing with Octane. Because his kit just doesn't provide much to the team. But anyway, W Tiger Man, you let me down, come on. Next we've got the B tier, in which we have Crypto. Crypto is often seriously overlooked. As soon as you've got a great team around you, with chemistry and stuff and just communication, you can do great things. Just like we did here, we positioned the drone, EMP'd, pushed off it. It was great. Very easy to clear this team by using his abilities. He's also great for like grabbing banners, triggering beacons, whatever you want, checking how many teams are in the area. There's so much to do with his kit, but there's just one thing that I don't like about his kit, which makes him B tier instead of A tier or S tier. And that's that as soon as you are, like your drone gets shot down, you're a sitting duck for like 25 seconds without any abilities. So that's the only reason why he isn't up there, but B tier for now. Another legend in the B tier is Lifeline. And I think Lifeline is great at clutching up those nearly impossible 1v3 scenarios in which your teammates get knocked and you are able to res them with your drone. I think that's, yeah, the ult is decent and tactical, which lets you heal like mid-fight or in between fights, is also pretty decent. But I think a good legend is a legend that prevents your team from getting knocked instead of resing them with ease when they get knocked. And that's the reason why I didn't put her any higher, but I think the B tier is fair for Lifeline. Another legend in the B tier is Ashe, and I think you have many outplay capabilities with her kit. I think she has a very decent kit, but every single piece of her kit is not as strong as you might want it to be. You can do some... Her kit is very viable for the team, but for example, her portal, Wraith has a better portal. Her snare isn't great. Her passive is not as insane as you might think. So Ashe, I think she is a decent pick, but there's definitely better legends out there. Another legend that's definitely worthy of the B tier spot is Vantage. You can do so many things with a kit. You can get information about your enemies, what Evo shield they have, how many of them there are. You can get poke damage with your sniper, annoy them like very much, and get other angles with your bird. It's great for that slow-paced ranked right now. So getting information, making informed decisions, I think it's great for that, but it's just not my favorite type of playstyle. A playstyle that I do like a lot though is being aggressive with Gibraltar's bubble. Gibraltar is another legend in the B tier, and his bubble is still very strong, even though there are many counts right now. However, you can make clutch plays. I do recommend learning bubble fighting when picking him up. And I think his ultimate is still very strong when used correctly. He's just a little bit chunky and stuff, which, might stop you from playing him. He's for many people not the most fun legend, but I definitely like having him on my team or using him myself to get into those bubble fights, to get into those nearly impossible scenarios and then winning them, because that's so fun. Another legend that's a lot of fun, but just not as OP as I expected him to be at the beginning of the season, is Ballistic. And I think what makes Ballistic special or unique is his ultimate, which upgrades your weapon and lets you reload faster. And it's also like a great addition in team fights, since your teammates will get those boosts as well. So I think his ultimate is definitely very strong, but the rest of his kit's just a bit meh, since the third sling, the third weapon, you really only use it whilst using his ultimate. And the missile lock isn't anything special either, since if I get hit by it, I don't really get bothered. So in the right hands, he's very strong, but for now, B tier. In the A tier, we have a lot of legends, including Pathfinder. And Pathfinder is amazing. You can grapple all over the map, outplay your opponents, and basically place infinite ziplines by scanning the care packages after placing your ultimate. These things are all amazing, and you'd say they are S tier worthy. However, Pathfinder has one major downside, and that's his hitbox, which is massive. And that's the only reason why I didn't put him up there. However, in the right hands, Pathfinder can be one of, if not the best legend in the game. A defensive legend that's definitely worthy of an A tier spot is Watson. She's great for ranks. You can use her both offensively as defensively by holding down an area, by placing down her ult and her fences. You should definitely utilize the ultimate accelerant, since you can carry 2 of them and it instantly regens your ult, which is great. Also for the team, since you can carry a lot of ultimate accelerant. And she's just great overall. You can place down fences mid-fight, stunning your opponents. It's awesome. So definitely pick her up if you're looking for an easy ranked pick. But she's in A tier because there's still one legend I think is better in the defensive area. Another legend that is definitely worth you in the A tier spot and is a lot of fun but also toxic is Caustic. He's great for holding down buildings by using his traps, or being aggressive with his ultimate. Another great thing about his kit is the fact that he's fortified, which means that he takes less damage per bullet and also never has death slides because he doesn't get slowed down by bullets. All in all, Caustic is a great legend, a lot of fun, but at the end of the day there's still one other legend in the defensive category that is just better. That's the reason why it isn't in the S tier. Valkyrie is another legend in the A tier, and she's great in my opinion, even though she has been nerfed over the past couple seasons, and the arrival of the effect towers have hurt her a bit as well. I think her ultimate and her passive are still amazing for making those big brain plays. The only thing about her kit I don't like as much is her tactical, which feels a bit clunky and inaccurate sometimes. But she's still a lot of fun, definitely worthy of an A tier spot, so give her a try for sure. A legend that barely misses out on the S tier, but still is a lot of fun to play, is Horizon. You can cause chaos with her ultimate, you can take high ground with ease using her tactical, and you can bunny hop around using her passive. You can really annoy your opponents in those impossible 1v3 situations in which you just keep running away, bunny hopping around, flying over them, throwing your ultimate. I don't even know why. She's great on Stormwind as well with the gravity cannons. So yeah, definitely try her out, a lot of fun. A tier for now. It's now time for the S tier, and in the S tier we will find the absolute best legends in the game, the must pickups, just like Wraith. Wraith is great for saving your teammates from dying, or getting your team from A to B with her ultimate. You can also get away out of a losing battle for basically free, since her tactical is so OP. The passive is pretty dog shit, but it's so compensated by the rest of her kit. I can't place her anywhere else but the S tier, she is so much fun. And this isn't even coming from a Wraith man. Another insanely OP legend is Mad Maggie. Nah, just kidding, she's trash. Seer, however, Seer is so OP, even after his nerf, I guess. For me, it isn't even a nerf. You can cancel out abilities from the opponents for like, I don't know how long, 10, 12 seconds. And it's just so frustrating to get hit by it. Since, personally, when I get hit by it, I don't even know what to do. Because I'm moving slowly, I can't use my abilities. They can see my HP for a couple seconds. It's just so frustrating and still so OP. And that's just it tactical. You can still use his heartbeats, the heartbeat sensor, to see where enemies are or if there are any enemies. You can use his ultimate to see where the enemies are walking mid-fight. It's just so OP. And I don't even like to play Seer, but I just feel like I have to because he's just insane. So yeah, it's just so frustrating, but Seer, you're still in the S tier. Tierlist is the next legend in the S tier. And in my opinion, she is the best defense legend in the game right now. She's just so versatile. You can use her to make doors basically unbreakable using your passive and your tactical. You can also break line of sight of enemies and basically get a free rotation by using your ultimate. And at the end of the day, in this ranked season especially, you kinda need a defensive legend to scan the ring consoles and get to the ring early and then fortify maybe a building in the ring. So Tierlist is just such a good pickup, definitely try her out, she's insane and a lot of fun to play as well. Loba also makes her way into the S tier. And first of all, the S tier is just stacked this season. There's just so many great legends to choose from, but Loba still is one of the best options out there. She's just great for so many things. You can solo queue with her, you can use her to get 20 bombs, 4Ks, you can basically give your team all the loot they could ever wish for. You can use her bracelet to get out of fights, get side angles. There's just so much to her. Her passive isn't anything insane, but still useful from time to time. But she's just amazing. And yeah, Apex is just a lot easier when using her. Looting is basically not a problem. You will get great loot. Her passive also helps out with that a little bit, but it's not the best passive in the game in my opinion. But her bracelet is great. So yeah, definitely try her out. She's a great pick. Bangalore, insanely OP in my opinion. And that's the reason why I put her in the S tier. Her whole kit is just so versatile and amazing. Her smoke, for example, you can use this for so many things. You can use it to block enemies line of sight, make a quick getaway, or perhaps loot a death box. I don't know what you want to do, but you can use it for so many different things. You can also, her passive might even be the best passive in the game. Don't quote me on that, but in my opinion, it might be. It is just so good. You get it basically every single fight, every time people shoot at you, and you run insanely fast. So that's OP in my opinion. And her ultimate, it's not the best ultimate in the game, but it's still very useful from time to time. And I've had some fun with it. So yeah, Bangalore, insanely OP. Even though you don't get aim assist in the smoke on controller, she is still so fun, so OP. Definitely try her out. Possibly the best legend in the game. Newcastle is going to be the last legend to make its way into the S tier. And Newcastle is amazing. You can create cover out of basically nothing. Use your tactical shield and your ultimate, your castle wall. And the fact that you can move your tactical shield is so OP. You can get cover behind you whilst running away, or push up using the cover in front of you and just keep moving it forward. It's just insane. You can also rest your teammates mid-fight basically, in the middle of all the chaos, looking at your opponent. It's kind of toxic if you think about it. And yeah, it's castle wall. It is pretty useful, but maybe not as OP as the rest of kit. But he's just so insane for the team in those heated ranked matches, or maybe those heated pub matches at the same time. And he's just so fun to carry your team. Thank you all for watching this video. It was a pleasure to make it. Make sure to like and subscribe. And I also want to give a massive shout out to my boy W Tiger. He's been there for me throughout the whole process of making this video. He's in most of my clips. And yes, he kind of sucks at Apex Legends, but it doesn't matter because he's still a good guy. Here's one clip of him sucking at Apex Legends. Aanslag leggen.